want to look like a doll, but I don't want to be a doll. And I know that is very contradictory, but I feel like my body is a form of art.
Hello, Dr. Nassif, Dr. Dubrow, Poppy,
Hello.
Sarah,
Poppy,
and Tony.
how are you?
Good, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Having a 10-year-old in with the parent to talk about possible plastic surgery procedures is at best unorthodox and at worst very weird.
Let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
A couple years ago, I remember what happened in the media when you gave your 15-year-old daughter
Right.
Botox.
Oh, that story.
And that caused a huge uproar out here.
Oh, yes.
I don't know about England, I'm sure it did too.
I divided a nation.
Did it?
Yeah, we obviously are against that. You know, a 15-year-old girl doesn't need Botox.
She was a professional dancer. She suffers with hyperhidrosis. So it was nothing to do with anything cosmetic. It was purely a medical procedure.
There wasn't a picture of you, like, putting a needle right here?
I got stitched up by one of the leading tabloids. They said, oh, because you're a nurse and you've got injectable fillers here, can you just pose for a photograph? It sealed my fate with that story. I was naive. This was years ago, but I have learned a lot since then.
Have a
You guys
seat.
have a seat.
How long have you guys been going out?
Like, I don't know, a year and a half or so,
Okay.
Yeah.
almost.
Wait a minute,
But you
smile,
can't-
wait a minute, smile for me for a minute.
I have diamonds on my teeth.
I was just kind of wondering, are those implanted diamonds?
Yes.
Wow.
Wait a minute, smile one more time for us.
See?
Wow.
I heard about that.
Sparkly.
I had another one, actually, but I swallowed it when I ate an almond. Cost me $1,000.
Did you end up straining your poop to
No,
try to find it?
no. I was,
You weren't that into it.
if it was a $10,000 diamond,
Then you would've strained your
that
poop.
I would have, but
Yeah.
not for 1,000.
Got it.
Before surgery, I was an absolute fugly down and out. And I know it sounds quite shallow to say it, but at the time, I had nothing else to do. It wasn't very brainy, and I thought if I had a little bit of plastic surgery, my life would change for the better. I was about 18 when I first got my surgery for my boobs. My dad thought he was being really clever. He said, you can have a car or you can have a boob job. And I was like, oh, come on, you can't take a car into a club with you. I'm not that stupid. I was going for the boobs. After my first surgery, I was just obsessed with it. I was like, wow, you can change just by going to sleep and waking up and looking beautiful.
I was actually really goth when I met him. I just started 1 year ago to transform myself. It's called bimbofication.
Bimbofication.
Yeah.
So when we hear the word bimbo, we think of someone who just is very stupid.
I don't want to be an airhead, but basically what it is to look like a male fantasy, like, you know, have a bit of a blow doll look. I want to look like a doll, but I don't want to be a doll. And I know that is very contradictory, but I feel like my body is a form of art.
You consider yourself a himbo to a certain degree, don't you? He starts by shaving his back. And then he does various procedures to himself to enhance what's lacking, if you know what I mean.
Terry, yes, I know I'm handsome, but I have brains. I'm not a himbo.
Name is Brian, and these are my $100,000 boobs. Boom, boom. I'm a gambler and a magician. There's very few things I wouldn't do for a bet. My buddies bet me $5,000 I could live in his box on Fifth Avenue for a week. I had to live in a friend's bathroom for a month. I slept under the 59th Street Bridge with $10,000 wrapped around my ankle for a week. In about 1997-ish, I was in some restaurant in Europe, and I was with two friends. And his girlfriend at the time was flaunting her boobs. And I said to my friend, if I had boobs like hers, I can get just as much attention as she would. For how much? And then he came up with $100,000, and I shook his hand, and that was it. It was a bet. I knew a plastic surgeon that was also a gambler in New York. So I went to his office, and I said, can you put boobs in for me? And all he said was, this is for a bet, right? And I said, yeah. He said, okay, I tell you what, how are you gonna pay? I said, how about a little bit of backgammon? I played backgammon with him for an hour. I won $5,000. Boom, surgery was for free. And I woke up with boobs.